Disney Cruise COVID rules. Will they ever change? Welcome back, everyone. This is Ann with some more of your Disneeds. And today we're going to get into COVID rules and when will they change. Starting in September 2021, Disney Cruise Line changed some of their requirements to sail. As of September 2021, all guests 12 and older are required to be vaccinated, and they must also get an embarkation test. If that test is negative, they can then board the ship, but masks are required at all times indoors unless you are actively eating, drinking, or standing still for a photo with the ship photographers. Masks are not required out on deck and in some places in Castaway Cay. I've definitely heard the opinion that Disney is going way overboard with their requirements. A lot of other cruise lines that are requiring vaccination do not require masks on the ship. I am totally okay with the mask requirement though. Even though it will be more than I've worn one, it'll be the most I've worn one at once, but I'm still okay with it. I don't want to do that, but if I'm sailing in September 2021, I feel like that's something that I have to accept. And the good part of it for me is that I trust Disney. I trust their safety. I trust that they will take the steps needed to keep people safe because it's a high priority for them. And that makes it good for me to wear masks on the ship. That's what they want. That's what I'll do. I have also been informed that the staterooms have a 99.99% clearance of all, bacteria or whatever else it would be through their filtration system. They've completely updated that over the last year on all 4 ships, and I'm sure it's going to be built into the Wish as well. As of right now, my understanding is that Disney is requesting the vaccines as well as the testing until the end of December 2021. Anybody that is 11 or under obviously is not required to get a vaccine, but they must do pre-embarkation testing as well as embarkation testing. Because again, the embarkation testing is required for everyone, at least through the end of December 2021. So that begs the question, what's going to happen in 2022? I really have no idea, and with all these different variants, it's kind of hard to speculate when things will change. One thing I do expect is that Disney will be one of the last ones. With their attention to detail and safety, I really think they'll probably be one of the last cruise lines to let go of the masks and the vaccine mandates. I think vaccines are probably going to be required from now on. To be honest, I will be surprised if a vaccine is not required. Maybe in a few years, if the vaccine actually gets kind of like a flu and they can ask you the details and feel comfortable with that, but I don't think so. In the last few years, it always surprised me that they didn't do anything more than just ask if you had felt bad recently. Because most people are going to lie to that. Not very many people are going to say, yeah, I have the sniffles, just go ahead and leave without me. People are used to going to work sick, and this is honestly the first time I think that corporations are actually being more lenient with people being at home when they're sick. A lot of times it's almost an expected, well, you can be out one day, but you need to be back. And the virus really changed that. A lot of businesses have implemented working from home and actually staying home when you're sick. And I think the fact that Disney Cruise didn't really have any way to tell if you were sick or not, I think that's going to be a lifelong change. I think they're going to either mandate temperatures or vaccines, probably vaccines, well into the near future, if not forever. I do believe masks will go away, but since they've still got them now and the variants, etc., I would not be surprised if masks stayed until sometime next summer. I hope they don't. I do hope to get married on a Disney ship over the next few years, and I don't want to have to wear a mask, but it's a privilege to get to go on a Disney cruise. It's a privilege to get married on a Disney cruise. And if their requirement is a mask, then that's the requirement. I still am thrilled to be able to get on a Disney cruise ship, and I have no problem putting on a mask. Some of the other things they've implemented, like the filters in the staterooms, of course those are going to stay in effect because they've already been implemented with those systems. From what I've heard, they've also added some new sinks for hand washing. I think that's great, and I'm sure that will stay as well. I also think it might be nice if they keep some of the social distancing aspects that they're doing now. In particular, I hope they keep the muster drill the way it is now. Being able to do the safety muster drill from your phone and your stateroom TV is so much easier to me. I haven't actually experienced this yet, but I will definitely prefer it to standing out in the hot sun with a whole bunch of other people waiting for the last stragglers to show up. Inevitably, there was somebody that was not quite there on time and you just had to wait for them. And this is just a much better flow for the cruise, I think, and certainly much more enjoyable for use of time for guests. I think some of the other social distancing acts that they've put into place will also be nice if they stayed. Most particularly, particularly the characters. The characters pop up all over the place now. I have heard that it's predominantly in the atrium and that it's not listed for set times. You just kind of have to keep an eye on the app and go check and see if they're there. But I've seen a lot of character pop-ups that are really different because of the social distancing, and I think it's fabulous. I think it's really a great addition to the Disney Cruise experience. One of the other things I would love to see them keep is the way they are now debarking the ship. Before, you could just go down and wait in line to get off the ship. Sometimes you needed to get a general time frame to go, but it wasn't like this. So now, before you make your way off the ship to explore a port of call, you must join a virtual queue for debarking the ship. You can join the virtual queue on the Navigator app while you're on board. You'll get a push notification that'll let you know when it's your turn to debark. One of the last changes that I would like to see them keep is the Know Before You Go section of their website. There is an abundance of information here. The one that I'm particularly hoping they keep is the pre-cruise checklist. They've got multiple sections in there. Once you've boarded your cruise, download the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app and reserve premium activities once you're paid in full. 15 days before setting sail, you must remember to create an account associated with the reservation on the Safe Passage website, where you will upload your vaccination results as well as testing results. If you choose to order a testing kit from Inspire Diagnostics, make sure you order that one so that you have it in hand at least 4 days before setting sail. Complete the online check-in link is in there. And for children 3 to 12 years, reserving session times at the Disney's Oceaneer Club and Oceaneer Lab. I have heard for these in particular, it can be a little more difficult with the activities with these reserved times. Typically, kids would just come and go, and they just always had activities going on. Now, since it's having these reserved times where it's shortened how long they can be in there, they're having more of a continuous flow of activity. So I think that will be interesting to see how that changes, or if it does. Between 3 days and 24 hours before setting sail, you must remember to do the pre-COVID-19 PCR test for those that need it. That should be an NAAT test, rapid PCR test, or lab-based PCR test. Rapid antigen tests are not accepted, and you can learn more about pre-trip testing in the Know Before You Go area. You'll also want to upload any test results to the Safe Passage website between that 3 days and 24 hours before setting sail. On embarkation day, all guests must complete the pre-trip health questionnaire. All guests must be tested. All guests are required to take a COVID-19 test at the terminal before boarding. And you must also bring proof of your COVID-19 results and vaccination status, along with your port arrival form with QR codes. Back-to-back sailings also have another testing that they must do before they can get back on the ship. So time will tell. We'll find out what's going to happen when it happens. We'll be on the ship next month, so of course we'll let you know whatever we experience there. Let us know in the comments below. When do you think the COVID rules are going to change? And are there any of them that you really want to stay? Thanks for joining us today, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. You can ring that little bell. It'll let you know when we have any new videos. And we'll see you real soon with some more Disneys.